Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to another United Adventure Company 5th edition live stream. How's everybody doing today? Ahoy.
Doing good over here.
Welcome one, welcome all in chat. Says we got a few people watching. Hopefully more will join us as we get along. But my name is RB Plays. I am your humble host on this side of the screen. I'm also Vale, the Tabaxi Rogue, in-game. Feel free to shout out your questions and comments to us in chat. Also, so we're here to have fun, right? And we haven't had a problem with it yet, but I have watched a few other channels, and there can be some aggressiveness in chat when it comes to getting the rules right and getting the rules wrong. We're here to have fun, y'all. So let's just keep it civil and keep it peaceful, and I'm going to turn it over to our DM and let him pick us up where we left off last session.
Right. Hey everybody, thanks again for joining us here at the United Adventure Company. Welcomes you to our 5th edition campaign, homebrew called Welcome Home. Last session, the players took their journey to Karengothar, where they landed in the docks, found their way to the Rusty Chalice, met some savory characters, Oakflum, their contact of information, and they were given a couple of interesting tidbits of information. They were shown a gentleman that they may end up meeting this session. And then they were tired and weary from their journey, so they went on to bed. And that's where we're going to pick it up this week, is with the players in their beds, waking up in the Rusty Chalice. Wake up, it's a nice crisp morning, as it is fall. This is not one of those fine establishments with central heat and air. It's a little drafty. You all are in the same room, if I remember correctly. You all bunked together. How would you like to proceed this morning?
Well, okay, so we're all in the same room, right?
Yep.
There's a couple of things that I need to do. One of the things is I've got this stone. Sariel, you might be able to help me with this. I picked up this stone after we were attacked in the forest by the Grove werewolf hunter folks, and you guys all went back to the orphanage. I went back out and I looted the bodies. I figured, why not? And on that leader that was in charge of that group, I found this stone. It's a stone, but why would they be carrying around a stone? And I'm hoping that there's something to this, and I was hoping that Sariel, you might be able to identify it for me. See if it has any unique abilities, or if it's anything kind of important or whatever.
I mean, I could, but why didn't you let the rest of the class know that you were going to loot the bodies?
Well, you guys were busy, and Brata was having way too much fun killing somebody. And I figured, why bother everybody? I'd just go out and see what I can find.
You gonna give me anything for this identification? It's like a whole ritual. I gotta get it all set up and do everything.
I got you a ring.
I did a whole lot of that work. Thank you.
That may be true, but I stole it.
I'll identify it.
What do you want? What do you want for this favor?
I want a favor to be named later. Okay, we both just want to have whatever we want to have. I can summon a giant tentacle and just swat you. You know all the fish that you like to eat? I can make them eat you. So just give me the favor.
Oh, okay, fine.
Okay, I will identify your stupid rock. It's
Thank
called
you.
Stupid Rock.
It is a perfectly clear gem. Almost looks more like cut glass than an actual stone. It's not a diamond. You recognize that, but it is a clear gem, crystal clear.
Okay.
And when you do the ritual, Sariel, I will send you in chat what that is. If I haven't, I think I may have already done that actually. Let's see. All right. Anybody else want to get up in other people's grills and?
If you you did not send it to me. If you think that you did,
I must not have hit it yet. Jump over here to.
No, the stone does not make pancake silver. Cut short.
that would be a really good stone.
It would be a good stone.
Mm.
Unlimited pancakes. The stone of pancakes. That'd be awesome.
Well,
I'm inclined to
while
agree.
Kira was doing her identify ritual, I cast Speak with Animals as a ritual so that I could talk to Mr. Fluffers the dog.
All right.
Just like, morning, how do you do? You're Fluffy.
Right on. So just general dog chat.
Yeah, and whatever he says back.
Apparently we're getting a little
feedback.
echo in. Yeah. I'm going to try and throw in a set of headphones real quick, guys. Sorry.
Okay.
That's it. He's hungry. He's ready to eat. He's ready to move around.
Yeah, I saw him chasing his tail in there for a minute there. Well, I will give him a good
Go to the
berry.
bathroom.
All right. Yep. He has got to go pretty badly.
I just look at Mr. Fluffers and hiss at him for getting all the attention this morning.
And he wants belly rubs.
Of course he does. Stupid dog.
I mean, Mr. Fluffers could tell me exactly what he thinks of you if he so desired at this point.
I ain't feared of no dog.
Aren't you though?
Not really. I'm bigger than he is.
Not much.
That's
That's
the same rocks are pretty big.
I can stab him with a dagger. So
Tree Man, what does the dog think of this?
What does the dog think of this?
The dog is not amused. Mr. Fluffers is not happy about the conversation and growls at Vale.
I will reassure him that I will always take his side over Vale.
Good dog.
Bork, bork. Bork, bork, bork.
fine.
Now
You
let
guys
me go
like
pee,
the
dude.
dog more than you like your own brother in orphanage stuff. Fine. Whatever.
The dog hasn't
That's
tried
not
to eat
true.
me.
I've
That's
never
not true. I love-
I've never seriously tried to eat you.
Pretty sure there was that one time when we first got to the orphanage.
Okay, well, my
Left
parents
that
had
taste
just
in my
been
mouth.
my parents had just been killed. I was very young. All I knew was how to hunt for food. So, and you're a bird. What would I mean? Put yourself in my shoes for just a second.
You know, birds eat small animals too, and I never tried to eat you.
Fair.
I'm gonna take a moment to reach for Vale's shoes and try to take them to hand them to Clark.
Hey, Vale.
Yeah.
Wanna know what this gem is?
Yeah, if you figured it out, I'd love to know.
Okay, I figured it out. But here's the stipulation. I will tell you, if any time I want you to use it for me, you are willing to use it for me.
I can do that.
Okay. So, it's the gem of true seeing.
Okay.
You can see things as they really are. And I guess when you're holding it, you have true sight and you can see secret doors and whatnot hidden by magic. And into the ethereal plane up to 120 feet.
Interesting.
So it'll be really useful for things like getting past traps and wreaking havoc and stealing more things.
I like it.
I thought you would.
Can I have it back now?
You still owe me a favor to be named later, but yeah.
I am in your debt.
Oh, so doubling down to use it for you, and he still owes you a favor. Very sneaky. I like that. So, as she's explaining all of this to you, and you got your, getting your pants on, getting ready to go, and you reach down when she's done. You reach down for your boots, and they're not where you left them last night. You look over, and Mr. Fluffer is just chewing on one of your boots.
I pull out my dagger, and I walk towards Mr. Fluffer's.
Uh-oh. He looks up at you with his cute little brown puppy dog eyes, and just drool and slobber coming out of his mouth, and he starts wagging his tail and sticking his tongue out at you.
I flip
panting.
the dagger up in the air and hold it the opposite way so that it's more in position to stab the dog with rather than poke at him. I'm getting aggressive.
Catman!
Yo.
Catman, why are you so upset? He just wants to spend some time in your shoes.
You did say that, spend some time in my shoes.
I was talking to the bird. Not the dog. The bird.
Well, how is the dog going to understand what it's like to be in your shoes if he's not in your shoes either?
I reached down and
I have decided that trying to explain to anybody what this all is supposed to mean versus what's happening is defeatist.
I reached down and I grabbed my shoes.
All right, they are covered in dog slobber.
I take my shoes over in the corner and I set them on fire. I'm kidding. I'm
Really?
not setting my shoes on fire, no.
I was going to say, you're going to burn down the inn. What a way to start the day.
I'm chaotic, what can I say?
Hey, right? All right. Mr. Fluffers gets up and starts just kind of running around in circles.
Furball, take care of your dog.
I am. I'm going to go take him out to the stables to let him do his business and such.
All right. You guys smell the cooking is wafting up. Somebody started cooking some breakfast downstairs. There's some noise happening. So,
okay.
Y'all gonna go downstairs, eat some breakfast, I take it? Or do you want to head on out into the city?
Might as well eat breakfast and talk about the day's plan, yeah?
Yeah. Here we go. Off to breakfast.
I'll bet he can hear us now. My bad.
All right. If you did lose audio, don't worry. You didn't really miss anything. We're just setting stage for the day. So,
Yeah, we were setting stage for the day. Sorry about that. So, Mr. DM, what are our options again?
basically, you did see the edge of the market when you were headed to the Rusty Chalice last night. There's the area around the docks. You didn't really explore much. The kind of shacks and all that were off to the other side. There's the inner city wall that you haven't explored, and there was a road that went up the far side of that inner city wall also. And then the road kind of turned around and went up past the market as well. So lots of areas to explore in the city. It's not a big city. It's a medium-sized city.
Well, I do have... I know I have to go out. I need something. The only weapons that I have are my claws, which are handy. Get it? Handy.
See what you did there. Yeah.
And I have a dagger. I need something else. So, once our friend over there is a little bit less occupied, let me see if I can figure out where to go to get what I'm looking for.
Okay.
And the only thing that we were supposed to do was meet our contact and find out more about the glorious order of whatever nonsense, right?
Sacred Grove, yeah.
Yeah, the Order of the Sacred Grove. See if they knew anything.
What I said.
Which you told him that, and he was going to check into any information and get back with you too. So. Anybody else? Anything specific you want to do today?
I do think that we should figure out what's going on in the city that we need to worry about. And I think that we should check out that vault. Like, everybody told us there's nothing there, but then why are we all getting visions about things that are there?
That's like so far away in the past,
We can
dude.
check that out on the way back. Maybe.
Okay, let's not forget it, though.
Yes, let's not forget. The Vaults of Doom sound like a very interesting place.
And if I'm going to any Vaults of Doom, I gotta be able to protect myself, which is why I need to go on a shopping trip. So,
Just remember, we don't have a lot of gold.
who said I needed gold for this?
Catman, I will help you. I also need a new weapon.
Oh, okay.
All right, so the Tabaxi and the half-orc go weapon shopping.
I'm gonna follow them.
Follow as in go with, or follow them to watch them?
Go with.
Okay. I guess Furbolg, you gonna just kind of tag along, or are you gonna do something else? And Clark?
Well, what's
What are your
Clark
plans?
gonna do? I think I might just hang around with Clark, whatever he's gonna do.
I'll probably just explore the city, see what's going on.
That sounds
Okay.
good. We can get Mr. Fluffers a nice walk.
There you go. Take the dog for the walk. Right on. You see Oakflum and the unknown gentleman there kind of relax their conversation and just start general chit chat. You see that as an opening to go over and approach and perhaps ask him any question you may have there, Vale.
Oh, I'm in charge of this? Okay.
Well, you said you wanted to go talk to him and find out where you could go buy a weapon.
Good point. Okay. So I'll head on over and ask if it's okay to converse for a minute.
Oh, well, good morning there, Vale. Yeah, absolutely. Pull up a chair. What can I do for you today?
Well,
I forgot what his accent was last session. Sorry.
oops. So, a couple things. I know that it's only been one night. You probably haven't had a chance to really accomplish much yet, but I wanted to get a status update on what we talked about last night. There were two items. There's our reason for being here, and then possibly a meeting with another fine gentleman who I believe is sitting here with you as well. And then I need to do some shopping today. I need to do some weapon shopping, and I was hoping you might be able to tell me where would be a good place to kind of do that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, weapons. Sir Helmond Mena runs the Blacksmith Shop here. He is the head of the Craftsman's Guild as well. And you can find his Blacksmith Shop there on the outside of the market against the wall there. You can't miss it. Big chimney, giant forge outside. Probably one of the biggest areas in the whole market. And yeah, he's a master swordsman. He's a great craftsman, and he can fix you up with anything.
Let me clarify what I'm looking for. I don't know what anybody else might be looking for, but I'm looking for a hand crossbow. Do you think you'd have?
Well, he could probably he could probably have that for you.
Okay.
He makes anything you can think of out of metal. So it's
silver.
Nice silver. They're gonna make that his new token.
Mm-hmm.
And the gentleman there sitting at the table with him, he goes, and I also happen to have a few things in my shop there in the market. He has a very aristocratic crossbow that shoots hands.
Mm-hmm.
A tone to his voice. He roll a insight.
Roll insight.
Yeah, roll an insight. See if you can get some insight into this.
Okay. Insight. Oh, this is not gonna be good. Ah, better than I thought it was gonna be.
Actually, yeah.
Better than I thought it was gonna be.
You get the impression that he's trying very hard to impress you.
Oh, I need to move it a bit. Can't see it up here. Chat can't see what I rolled. I gotta fix that.
Oh,
That's fine. We can fix it. It's okay.
a crossbow that shoots hands. Diamond, that's awesome, because then you could just like shoot slap people from across the room.
Yep.
There's a Deadpool Hawkeye crossover comic about that.
I think that would be awesome.
If chat can't see, it's an automatic one. No. Negative.
I feel like
No, I got it. It's a real roll.
if chat can't see, it's an automatic nat 20.
I am more in favor
I
of
approve.
that than a critical one.
No, I'm against that. I have to veto that right off.
Oh,
Sorry.
Darn it.
And the gentleman, he looks at you and goes, I don't believe we have been formally introduced. I am an importer and exporter of fine goods and other sundry items.
My name is Vale of Shadows. I'm an orphan.
What was his name? You cut out a little bit there.
Marshall Emplifer. Emplifer.
But yeah, my name's Vale. I'm an orphan, but I'm also in. I guess you could say I'm in goods and services. I'm the eldest orphan, resident at the orphanage. I'm in charge of our storehouse and shipping and receiving and all that good stuff. So we're in a similar line of work, I suppose.
Oh, you do shipping, do you?
Mostly receiving. We don't send a lot of stuff out of the orphanage. Most of it is supplies that are coming in. Occasionally, packages and other things that need to go to representatives of the orphanage that are in other cities and such. But most of it is just receipt of goods and then inventory tracking.
Nice. Very nice. He pulls a pipe out
I
of his
walked
vest.
behind.
Uh-huh.
And I'm standing behind Vale and just kind of glaring at everybody.
Okay. And I see Furbolg has also come up behind.
Mm-hmm.
He pulls a pipe out of his vest and strikes a match across the table and lights a pipe and just kind of puffs it a couple of times and looks at you and goes, "So you know about shipping and receiving, eh?
A little bit.
Might be a welcome acquaintance one day. Well, I appreciate your time, sir. Let me know if there's anything I can do for you. My shop opens in just a little while. When I'm finished with my business of a mutual acquaintance, Mr. Oakland, I shall head that way. Perhaps I will see you in my shop."
So just in passing, I say to him in Undercommon, "It's a pleasure doing business with you." Does he respond?
He responds and says likewise in Undercommon, as if it just is normal. Like it didn't catch him by surprise or anything.
Okay. And I'm guessing no one else at the table, with perhaps of maybe with the exception maybe of Oakland, probably nobody else knew what I said. Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody else around that table would know what you said.
Okay.
They're still going on about this roll, man.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody looks over behind Oakflum, and you can see Mr. Fluffer's outside the window. He's got his paws up on the window, and he's looking in at all of you.
Mr. Fluffers is the bane of my existence.
And he starts licking the window.
See? Dogs
Because that's what dog.
licking windows. Stupid window licker.
Oakflum tells you, he says, I've yet to get any information, but rest assured, as I have put out some messages, and as soon as I hear anything, I'll be sure to get in touch with you. I think I can find you pretty easily.
All right.
Do you have any recommendations as to places within the city that might be worth checking out to further our investigation as well?
Well, I will say that if they are the people that you say they are, then they would not be welcome in this city. Just look around you. This is a city of ruffians and dark people. The people that you say you slayed, they would not be welcome here, nor would they last very long. I have the...
I'm sure they've made enemies here, though. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, I guess. If I really, maybe, I don't know, maybe somebody has information.
That's a very interesting saying. I think I'll save that and use it. If that's all right with you, of course. I like little sayings and things. I've never heard that one before.
I'm gonna roll my eyes and say fine.
All right.
Yes, Fluffers does have a barrel around his neck.
Yep, and no one checked to see what it was yet, or at least they haven't told me if they did. All right. Oakland says if there's nothing else, I must conclude my business here with Marshall, and then be all about my day.
Very good. I guess we're off, yeah?
Yeah. Off you go into the city, I suppose, eh?
All right.
All right, I'm going to
How
change
much
maps.
did breakfast cost for us all? I'm gonna go
breakfast
outside and bring Mr.
was
Fluffers the
included.
last night I bacon. Oh, it was
Okay,
included.
that
Okay.
was included in your stay, yeah.
Gotta love a hotel with free breakfast.
Continental breakfast
That's right.
win.
Free breakfast. I'm going to switch maps, see if the audio stays this time. It should, right?
Yeah, the audio is that was entirely my fault.
Okay. Here we go.
Wow, that's really zoomed in.
Yep. You're going to have to zoom out to about 50. This is a big map. And then scroll down to the Rusty Chalice.
Rusty Chalice is
You see
here,
it?
yeah. Okay.
That's where you all are, outside the Rusty Chalice. Market is towards the bottom of the map there.
Market's
You see
towards
it there.
bottom?
At the,
Okay.
Here is the market.
Silver, they're not funny. I know you guys can hear us.
Where'd the dog go?
Is dog not on the map? He was on the map. He's right
Hopefully
there.
he was in the ocean.
Where is my token?
Hang on,
Token is still back.
Sorry, was up by the boat.
I brought you down. You were up by the boat still. All right.
What about me? I don't see my token.
Yeah, I don't see Brada either.
Huh. We're not there. Interesting. Why are you not there?
Because you clearly don't care about me.
Obviously, that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
All I want to do is see you turn into a giant half-orc.
There you go.
Giant.
All right.
Yes, really.
Okay. So, some of you are going to the market. Others are going to explore the rest of the city.
I can't move my
I got
token.
So which one
Does
of
anybody else
these?
have?
No, I can move mine.
Oh, that would be why.
Which one
Weird.
of these buildings down here is supposed to be the blacksmith?
One, all the way down. You can barely see it. The pink and white
Oh, down there at the bottom. Okay.
down there at the bottom. Why is that not all the way on? Your window's clipping the map.
Mm-hmm. I can fix that.
You should be able to move your token now.
Yep.
All right. Sorry about that. I'm not a professional DM. I do not get paid to do this. Expect error.
Fair. Okay. Well,
Fair.
So-
so who all? So Sariel, you're coming with me. Brada, you're coming with me.
Clark,
Clark and Fergal are
Fluffers,
walking the dog.
and Herbal. All right. So we
We
will
can
start
probably go
with.
to the market too, just not to the blacksmith or wherever you guys are going. I don't think either of us needs weapons or armor right now.
Okay. Well, then everybody can head to the market and start there. Oh, thanks, Silver. I appreciate hearing that. Thank you very much, and I welcome any feedback in the other direction as well. If you think there's areas I could improve, I'd be interested in hearing that as well.
So,
All right, so you've got Jammet Odds and Ends, little trinket shop here. There's not a lot of people out this morning. You notice a few people wandering around, mostly human, but take a picture of my feet. Nice. But it's very sparse as far as people go out here.
okay.
The shops are open, but there's not a lot of activity here. It's still early morning, and perhaps that's what it is. The first shop you come to is Jammet Odds and Ends.
I would like to ritual cast detect magic.
Okay, I'll let you know if there's anything.
Thanks.
as per the usual, I'm looking for shiny trinkets and stuff that
Well, there's a ton of
easily-
stuff at
could
Damn It Odds and
easily be
Ends. Like,
displaced.
yeah, bracelets and
Mm-hmm.
all kinds of stuff there. Looks like I tell you what, you roll me another insight
Okay.
if you can figure out anything about these items.
I guess if I'm here, I would also like to be examining things.
Same.
So let me do an insight.
Yeah, and
All right, well, I got a 22 insight.
your insight leads you to believe that there's a very good possibility that a lot of these items were found their way here by mysterious means. They may not have been necessarily legal. You see a lot of monogrammed pieces of silverware, bracelets with names carved into them, that sort of thing.
Nice.
This is basically looks like a pawn shop.
Okay. That's the odds and ends place up here, yeah?
And you don't see anybody there, but all of the curtains are open, the tarps are rolled up, you can see everything's laid out. But you don't see anybody there. No one behind the counter or anything. That's this joint right here. Then further down, there's a cart with just like bags of wheat and flour and just, generic supply stuff. Guy sitting there selling that stuff. There's this. You head down there, or
Yeah, we can walk that way.
so as you start walking that way, you pass by this very large building
Mm-hmm.
on your right, and there's a big sign outside of it. It says Marshall's buy, sell, trade, import, export, all items you could ever want, kind of thing. All the tarps are still down on it. As you know, you just left the Rusty Chalice, and Marshall's still there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I figured I'd hit that one on the way back this way.
But you see that is where Marshall's shop is.
Okay.
And it is by far the largest in the market.
Okay.
This place here is just a cart full of, that's the wheat and flour and, dry goods place. I got old guy.
Did you say that this place here is Marshall's? We froze for a second there.
Yeah.
Yes, that is Marshall's. Down here, a little sign on this one is kind of woven into the fabric of the tent. This is Wesson Oils Import.
Wesson, huh?
It is, with one S. Words are also put on the back there of, love potions, joint pain relief, all kinds of stuff. So this is like an apothecary, which I can never say that word right. Don't hate me.
As he just says it right.
Did I really? I never say that word.
Yeah,
All right.
you said it
I
fine.
always screw it up and say like apothecary is what I usually. Anyway, there is a large animal skin strung out next to it with a big trough under it, and it's catching like all the oils that are heating up out of the fat and out of the skin and dripping into. It's kind of gross. Mr. Fluffers takes off running for it.
I quickly
He sticks his
distance myself from the dog.
Just to stick his head down in the trough and starts licking it up.
I will pull him back with my Furbolg strength and say that this is not for doggies.
And he looks up at you with sad eyes and drops his head. All right.
I'll give him a berry again.
Okay. And looking woman comes running out of the tent. What are you doing? She says. She comes running out the back over here.
I'm sorry. Apparently, it smells really good to the dog, but I have him under control.
Well, I appreciate that. That is very precious oils. Fluffers, what'd you talk about? We can't have it contaminated with dog. That I'll have to throw the whole batch out. And she says, is there anything I can help? From my fine shop, of course. I have the finest oils and potions.
Potions, huh?
Has
Oh,
my
yes.
Detect magic finished ritualizing yet?
Oh, yeah, you've got that going. But you're kind of at the back of the tent. The front is over here.
I feel like the oils are right up your alley, Furbolg.
I'm more about growing things than rendering things, but I mean, I guess I understand animals.
Mm-hmm. So you come around and you see she has all these vials and bottles, potions, and jars, and basically she's starts hawking at you all the things that she has. We've got potions of love and potions of healing, and we've got potions that will help you grow your hair faster. And Silver found the tree. You're in for it now, Furbolg. Anything you need. You want your fingernails to grow a different color? I've got an oil that'll do that. Is there anything in particular you're looking for?
The blacksmith.
Oh, and she points down this way towards the pink thing, and she's like, the blacksmith shop is over there.
I mean, that's where we were all headed, but you know, it was good talking to you.
Well, come back if you need anything else. I even have oil to help sharpen your blades when you're done buying them from him.
Oh, oil just helps sharpen the blades, huh?
Oh, yes. Yes, it's a very fine oil.
Do I believe
I bet
it
she has
at
oil
all?
too.
Yeah, you believe that, you know, oil on a stone will help the stone get, or the blade get a little sharper.
Okay. What about cooking oils? Do you have any cooking oils?
Oh, yes, I have flavored oils and infused oils. Just anything you can think of. If it's an oil, I have it.
Okay. So, who's coming with me to the blacksmith?
I'm following you, Catman.
Okay, here we go.
All right. As you get close, you can hear the clinking of metal on an anvil. You see the forge lit up, burning over here.
Mm.
Nice and hot. Smoke coming out of the chimney. He's got all kinds of stuff in the back, hanging up swords and daggers, hammers, axes, pretty much anything you can think of hanging up back there.
Okay.
You see this stout dwarf sitting in the back, right in front of his anvil. He just keeps pulling the steel out, and he's just hammering away on it.
Okay.
Back is to you, so he can't see you.
Good morning, sir.
He kind of startles and turns around. And sure enough, he's an old dwarf. He's got a very long beard all the way down to his waist. Very overweight. But you can tell, Brata especially, at one time, he was a fierce... Still see the muscles in his arms and the scars on his face from battle. And you can tell he's fought for glory and dwarven honor many times. And he steps up. Oh, good morning. My name is... Where's his name? Sir Helmond Mayonnaise. Can I help you?
Oh my god. No.
Oh, yeah.
Are you going to get sued for copyright at this point?
No, it's not spelled. It's spelled
His name is
differently.
Helmond, not Hellman's. Helmond.
Helmond. Mayonnaise. Manize.
Oh, dang it. Okay.
There's a tree, a dog, a cat, a bird. You're right, Silver. The
Okay.
orc's gonna eat them all.
So, well, good morning, sir. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. We're new in town here, and I'm looking for a crossbow. I'm looking for a hand crossbow.
It's a hand crossbow, you say? Oh, trusty weapon. You know, I've been working on this new thing. You know how they usually make crossbows out of wood,
Okay.
right?
Sure.
Well, I found this very lightweight metal, and I've been experimenting with making a crossbow out of metal. Would that be something that would interest you? Metal, instead of a wooden one, that could warp and break, perhaps.
Maybe. How much? Do you have a prototype of it? Can I try it?
Yes, of course I do. I have a prototype, and we have a next to the forge.
Okay.
And he goes in the back. He opens a big cabinet. He opens it up. And roll a perception. Anybody who wants to that is there can roll a perception.
Yeah, 10. Wait, how is Brada more observant than me?
Yeah, I know, right?
Andy, I have a +5.
Because it's weapons, and the barbarian and the fighter are the weapons experts.
I suppose.
Right. Yep. That checks out. Big 10-4. Can confirm. So Furbolg, Brata, and Clark. You all notice that when he opens this cabinet, first of all, he had a special lock on it where he had dials that he had to spin to get to the numbers. And then he opened it up, and there are some of the best looking weapons you've seen from afar ever.
Okay.
And they're all made out of this light gray metal. But there's one weapon you've never seen before.
Okay.
It's a long, almost as tall as the cabinet, and the cabinet's 6 feet tall. It has a long tube on it, and a metal kind of handle with it flares out at the end into a big curve.
Is this okay? Outside
He
of
grabbed-
D&D, is this a fucking musket?
Basically, yeah. I'm introducing some technology, and we're in that time period where technology is just learning about gunpowder Remember you had fireworks at the orphanage?
Yeah.
So we're in that time period where we're just learning about gunpowder and how to use it in weaponry. Thought maybe a little bit of change from our typical fantasy D&D world, where we're getting a little more technology in. Not great technology. We're not talking laser rifles here, like in our last campaign with the alien.
Laser rifles.
But yeah.
Okay, back in game, I have no clue what this is.
It's an arquebus. I like it, Silver. I'm gonna write that down. I think that is what we're gonna call it. All right. He reaches in and pulls out this. It looks definitely like a crossbow, and he grabs it with one hand and just, here you go, tosses it to you, and tosses you a couple of bolts.
Okay.
And you grab it. It is light, very light. I didn't know that. I might have a picture of it in my manual of modern firearms, though.
Okay.
So he says, yeah, feel free to head around the back there. Take a few shots at the hay bales, which I forgot to put on the map.
That's all right. So, all right. So I walk over to the hay bales and what's the range on a weapon like this? Like, how far away can it fire and be accurate?
You can probably, we haven't any real long range shots, but you could probably hit the wall from the forge pretty easily. Remember, each square is what's the scale? 25? Yeah, 25 by 25. So
okay,
it's about 200 feet, 225 feet, or 215 feet to the wall from the forge.
Okay,
He's almost positive. It's almost double the range, he's saying, of a normal crossbow.
So I'm standing about here.
Mm-hmm.
And he's talking about hitting this wall over here?
Yep.
Wow.
Are you talking about a regular crossbow or a hand crossbow?
Hand crossbow.
A hand crossbow. He's saying, it'll hit that wall from here. That's what he says.
All right. Well, I pick a spot on the wall. Are there any like discerning marks, like old stains or anything like that on the wall?
Yeah, there's some ivy growing on the wall. There's a few stains, some moss.
All right, so I pick out a particular clump of moss on the wall, and I tell everybody that that's what I'm aiming at. What do you want me to roll?
All right. Just roll your ranged weapon attack.
So that's D20 plus 2.
Dex.
I'm proficient with small weapons. Oops. So 1d20 plus 2 roll. Okay.
Don't forget to add your dex.
Oh,
Did you add your dex?
where's my dex? Hang on. Dex modifier is 4. So 19.
19. Hey, you hit on target, but the bolt falls short about right here. Doesn't quite make it all the way to the wall.
It makes it about the distance that a standard hand crossbow would make it, wouldn't it?
Yep. About the long range of a standard crossbow, about 120, maybe 150. So you know what? Those bolts might be a little heavy still. It's a work in progress. I promise you, I'm getting there.
Okay. I mean, it's still a nice weapon as long as I know its limitations. How much?
Oh, I don't know. That's still in a prototype phase. It's kind of hard to put a price on something like that. What's it worth to you?
I mean, I'm willing to test it out for you and give you my feedback if you're looking for a product tester. Give you a good review on social media.
hearye.com.
I'll talk to all the town criers and tell them to come here for their weapons needs.
I roll my eyes so hard that you can hear it.
Wow.
That's pretty loud.
That is pretty loud. It says usually I get about 50 gold for a crossbow. This one being a little better.
Is it though?
Well, it's lighter and more durable.
Well, okay, it might be lighter and it might be more durable, but based on where it is, you're not getting any more range. I would doubt that you're getting any more power out of it, any more penetration power. So, is it better?
All right. Well, here, try this standard hand crossbow, and he pulls a wooden one out, and says, "Here, feel the difference."
Okay, and
try this one out.
How much lighter is this compared to the wooden crossbow?
Significantly lighter.
50 gold, you say?
A standard hand crossbow is about 3 pounds, and this metal one weighs about a third of that.
Okay.
Not that we play with weight limitations.
Yeah, I know. So 50 gold, you say?
Yeah. Or if you wanna rent it for a week, I'll do 10 gold for a week. You can rent it, or if you want to pay me. He does some mental math. He says, "You know what? Tell you what, my friend, I'll make you a special deal for you to be a tester. I will lease you the product." 15 gold a week for 3 weeks, and it's yours. At the end of it, you come back here after 3 weeks. If you like it, you give me the balance of the 5 gold that you owe for the 50, and we call it a day. If you don't like it, you just give it back. No hard feelings, no questions asked. I'll even give you a 50% credit on any other weapon since you've.
50% credit on any other weapon, huh?
Yeah, based on what you've already paid, towards the balance of the hand crossbow, of course. Now, if you choose to keep it, then all weapon discounts are not included.
Rent a pony. I don't need a pony.
That's a different shop.
Yeah.
That's up here at Jamit.
All right, so I'm gonna look around, but I'm gonna look around based on what Brata might be interested in. So what all does he have?
He's got hand axes, great axes, swords, long swords, great swords, short swords, medium swords, daggers, run-of-the-mill stuff.
Warhammer?
Yep, he's got a couple of warhammers, shields.
I kind of stomp over to one of the warhammers and cross my arms and kind of just like glare at it, and then kind of make a humph, humph. And then I point at one and I say, "How much do you want for this?"
Oh, I see you can tell good quality. You're a fierce warrior. Only the best weapons for you, right? Am I right?
Indeed. That is correct.
So you like the hammer? The regular warhammer?
Yes, that is that's catching my eye there. How much do you want for it?
Oh. Let's see. That hammer, I'll go for 7 gold.
I pull out my old hide armor and a spear, and I say, "Can we just trade?"
Well, I don't have much use in armor, but perhaps I could use the hide and weapon wraps. And a spear could probably break that down. Old armor. Yeah, why not? We'll trade. I'll give you a hammer. It'll lighten your load anyway.
I take the hammer, I reach a hand out to shake his hand, and I shake it very fiercely and slap him on the back and say, "Thank you, sir. Much appreciated." And then turn around and stomp out of the shop.
Right on. That he kind of trails off as you walk away, as he's about to thank you in return for doing business with him. Let's see. All right, so Brata got her hammer. Anybody else need anything from the blacksmith here? Are you gonna stick around and haggle some more, Vale?
Is Clark here, or did they move on?
I'm slowly losing interest and about to move on. There wasn't really anything that I
be like.
So I say, hold on a second, and I walk over to Clark and I say, how much ahead are we on gold right now?
We've got 251 gold right now.
And what did we start with?
250.
So we're 1 gold ahead right now. Dang it. If I can promise you that I can get the 50 gold back into the kitty, can I borrow 50 gold from the kitty?
From the kitty?
Yeah, well, from the chest, from our reserves.
It's an old people term for a community chest of money.
Yeah, it's like a cash register kind of a thing.
Emphasis on old.
Hey.
If everyone else is fine with it, I'm fine with it.
Everyone else.
I kind of just shrug.
I knew I could count on you, Brata.
I'm going to shake my head and wave my hand in a do whatever the hell you want, and then walk away because I am so bored with this. And I'm going to walk towards the docks.
You start walking towards the docks? Okay.
Okay, so I go back over and I talk to the dwarf. All right, so you said 15 gold a week to rent for 3 weeks, but you still haven't budged on the final price of 50 gold. You want me to rent it for 3 weeks, total 45 gold, and then pay you the extra 5 to bring it back to 50. Here's my counteroffer, because honestly, I don't need anything else besides crossbow bolts. But here's my counteroffer. You let me lease it for 3 weeks at 15 gold. Final price, 45 gold.
I think I can, drive a hard bargain, sir. It's hard. I've never dealt with a axie person before. You are strong hagglers.
We're very
I can see that you're new to the world, and looks like I may get a little bit of use out of this anyway. You know what? I'll let you have it at 45. If you need the 3 weeks to pay it, I can tell you're young and probably don't have a lot of money in the. So he agrees.
So I go ahead and I get 15 gold for the down payment for the first week, because I'm assuming he's going to let me pay 15 per week, yes?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm going to give him 15. I say I'll be back in a week with the next 15. My intent is to make sure that it's paid off well before the 3 weeks, because my next stop is Marshall's.
Right. All right, so Clark, Furbolg, Serial. Serial has gone off towards the docks alone.
Mm-hmm.
Furbolg and Clark, what were you all? Excuse me, and Mr. Fluffer's gonna do?
I'm still gonna wander around the rest of the market and check out that town that's in the center that has the wall around it.
I'm going to
Okay.
stick with Mark. I don't particularly trust all this metal weaponry that's, taking away from good natural weapons.
Right, of course you don't. All right, Serial, where are you headed? You're over here behind Marshall.
So that's going to basically just be the same stats as a hand crossbow, yeah.
I'm just going to effectively sit on the docks and try to talk to the sea creatures and see if they have any interesting things to tell me about the city. And
Okay, so you're sitting on top of the parapet of the wall of the city right there. So there's no way up there from where you are.
Okay, I'm going to the docks. That's where I meant.
Okay, let's just gonna let you know that's kind of the. We'll come back to you in a minute with some fish stories.
I'm sorry, the stats on that hand crossbow, that's just basic hand crossbow stats.
Yep, except it's 1 pound instead of 3 pounds.
1 pound instead of 3 pounds. Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Clark and Furbolg and Mr. Fluffers. What was that? I just marked as red, but instead of. Oh, okay. As you're wandering through the market, come across a couple of interesting places, food vendors. You're a little peckish from walking around so much, and then you pass by this place called Pentley's Canvas. There's a halfling sitting in there, working a piece of canvas, working a piece of leather into it. They have all kinds of artwork displayed inside their booth there. Obviously, this is an artist of some kind. And paintings of trees and seascapes, landscapes. There's one painting that really catches your eye. It's on a black inked canvas with a big moon in the back, full moon, and then a second moon, and then there are 3 wolves on it. It's a 3-wolf moon painting. Makes you feel like recognized. It makes you feel homesick a little bit.
Bro and me thinks that this 3-wolf moon seems pretty cool.
And a little halfling guy turns around. Oh, you like my wolf painting? And he's wearing a little beret, and he's got the paintbrush in his hand, little smock, paint all over it.
What was your inspiration for the painting?
It came to me in a dream. There I was, laying deep beneath the stars, and I saw both moons high in the sky. Then as I glanced into the stars deeper, I could make out the shapes of 3 wolf faces in the stars. I took a mental note of it when I woke up, rushed down here as quickly as I could, and started drawing it out, and it just flowed like water out of a pitcher onto the canvas. It's one of my favorite pieces.
Where were you when you saw this?
Oh, I was just outside the city, on one of the hills, overlooking the city and out across the bay. It was just such a beautifully clear night. In my dream, of course.
Well, in your dream, did any of these wolves have names?
No, they were just kind of there in the stars. You know how sometimes you can see shapes of things? I don't know, I can, maybe you can. Not everyone is able to see those things, but I can see shapes and things like faces, and they say there's a condition for it, but I'm an artist.
Well, what do you want for this inspiration of yours?
Oh, you like it enough to buy it? No, not many people buy my art. Most people look at me and scoff, think I'm a waste of... I've never had to really put a price on that piece. What's a... How about 2 gold pieces? I think it's worth that in my time. My time, it took me a couple of days to make that.
I think that's fair.
He has a little smudge pot burning right next to where he's working. Little incense is going. So you like the price? Awesome. Here. And he takes it down carefully and hands it to you. Do you want me to wrap it for you? Is it a gift? I can sign the back of it.
Yes, please sign it.
To whom should I make
And
it?
wrap it so it can travel safely.
Very well. Do you need me to ship it? I can have it shipped wherever you'd like.
Should we send it back to the orphanage?
That sounds like a good idea, depending on how much it costs to ship.
How much to send it to Troutberg?
To Troutberg, that he pulls out his little book and he flips through his shipping book. Troutberg's only a 1 gold piece shipping charge. Yeah.
Troutberg is like aware of the orphanage, right? Like that's a place where the people go to trade frequently.
Yes.
Then I'll write down instructions to take it to the orphanage from Troutberg, and that they'll pay whatever COD cost.
All right.
And sure, off to Troutberg. And on the note, I'm also going to ask, I guess I'm asking Sister Sushin, or Mother Sushin, if this rings any bells, like that we're getting a vibe from it.
Okay. I'm going to make a note of that so we can come back to it, and maybe next session, or maybe this one if we get there soon enough, if time travel happens.
And then I guess I will thank the fellow, and I'm done with that kid.
Yeah, if there's nothing else that catches my eye, I'm good.
Nope, that was about it. And he thanks you for your time and says come back anytime you want. Let's see. Brata, you're wandering around. Vale, you've come back and caught up with the rest of them?
Yep.
Okay, we'll jump over to Serial real quick and talk to the fishes.
As long as we don't sleep with the fish.
So you put a call out to the ocean, asking if there are any aquatic creatures that know anything about the city. Is that my understanding correctly?
Yeah. Anything worth mentioning that comes in or out, anything they might know about the city that they feel is worth telling me. And the people in it.
You get a return from a whale that's out in the bay. very old whale. And so you want to know of the city of Karangotha? Kind of this raspy old whale voice.
Yes, please.
It's been here a long time. Almost as long as me. Silver, I am loving the little emojis that you're throwing in the chat.
We have a whale.
Yep. Karangotha has been here nearly 400 years. It was founded a long time ago by... Trying to find my my history page on this in this document. Hang on. Scroll. And go there. Where is it? Residential temple. Here we go. Adventuring. There we go. It was founded nearly 400 years ago. Black. He was an interesting explorer. He came here by way of ship, found this little bay, and set up a few little modest shacks, and then a city started growing around it, and people would come and trade their goods. It's been the family city ever since. And they still run everything. The family, they're in charge of the city and probably always will. The most of the trade that comes through the eastern side of the sea here, it comes through Karangotha. And it's been this size for a long time. I'm surprised they haven't expanded more. They, I guess, do well for themselves.
So it's the one family that effectively owns the city. Is there anything weird that happens ever? Is there anything else you can tell me? Thank you also for all of the information you've been sharing.
Well, there's always weird things that happen at sea. No, nothing unusual for this city. I mean, I've seen a lot of cities come and go, the coasts, and this one, I guess the strangest thing is that this one has lasted so long. It sprouted up shortly after the war, and here it is. It hasn't grown anymore. That, I guess, would be the oddest of this city, is it hasn't grown.
Do we know anything about the war?
Just that a great cataclysm was sent down. That's where the Sea of Mira was formed. I think I put a document in a while back. Basically tells the history of the area. So basically, there was a great war. No one could decide on peace. They couldn't come to terms of agreement. Along comes this person. I'd have to pull the document up, find it. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. But along comes a guy. He brokers the peace. But in doing so, he triggers a cataclysm somehow. And the gods send down a great force that sinks the center of the continent. And they fill it with water to keep a great divide between the people so that peace should stay everlasting. And that's what created the Sea of Mira. And from there, became ocean trading, and the sea. People would spread out and became new coastline for new cities. And this is one of those new cities.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna thank him for everything he's told me and get up and wander back into the market, seeing if I can find the people I came here with.
Okay. All right. We'll come back to Brata and Vale.
Okay. I'm guessing it's been long enough for Marshall's place to open now, yeah?
Yeah, probably so. You should be open by now.
Okay. I guess we'll pay him a visit.
And I follow the cat man.
All right.
That was a big token.
Yep, he's a little too big. That's what I was talking about earlier before the game. Like, I have to resize these every map change.
Yeah, we should get together and fix that.
So, yeah, sorry, I was a lazy DM this week.
If by lazy you mean working your full-time job, then sure.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean, because I was recovering from vacation, swimming with manatee.
Mm-hmm.
Which is an amazing time. And everyone should do it at least once. All right, so you get over to Marshall's buy, sell, trade, import, export.
Mm-hmm.
And you see Mr. Marshall there standing outside. He's smoking his pipe, enjoying the fresh sea air that's blowing in over the top of the wall. And the sun is beaming down on the city. Still not a lot of villager or city folk looking around. You do see a guard patrol come into the market, however.
Guard patrol coming in, huh?
Mm-hmm. They look like they're just making the rounds.
Okay.
Ah, Mr. Vale. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. What can I do for you?
Well, we're just getting a lay of the land here in town. Trying to see what all's here. Nice, quiet little place. You know, guy could be
Oh, yeah.
successful in an area like this, perhaps.
Yes, I have quite been successful. You read me well. I settled here because it is such a place. It's left alone. No one bothers me about what comes and goes. I just, do my fair share in the city and take care of mine.
That's a fair. That's a fair way to do business. No real trouble with the local authorities or anything like that. They kind of keep to themselves, or.
Oh yes, they pretty much keep to themselves unless people are being ruffians and such, squabbling in the streets and fighting, and they'll break it up and send them along there.
Okay.
No, we here in Karangotha, we take care of our own, if you know what I mean.
I do know what you mean, I think. I do indeed. So what all kinds of imports and exports and buys and sells and trades do you have in your establishment?
I do a little bit of everything. I bring feed for the horses and hay and fertilizer. I bring in vegetables for the restaurant. All sorts of things. I'm the primary shipper in and out of Karangotha. So if you have anything to send, it will go through me. Anything you need brought in, I can probably find it.
I see. What if an enterprising young sort, and I say this in undercommon, what if an enterprising young sort needed to earn 50 or 60 gold in a hurry. How would you go about doing that?
Well, there's a few things you could do around here, he says in common back to you. There's no need for subterfuge. Trust me. It's all on the up and up, my friend. I know you're young and eager. No need to try to impress me. He says, I did overhear last night. I have very good hearing. And I happened to overhear the barkeep there mention that his shipment of cocoa didn't come in on time. It's behind. Should have been here a week ago, and said he was going to come talk to me about it today. It is one of my imports that I do handle for him, and I kind of lost track of the ship, and I'm not sure what happened to it. But I was going to tell him, but he found out. I was going to tell him there was a storm, but now I have to tell him it's missing. If you could help me find that ship, or even bring back a load of coca, that would be well worth 50 gold to pay you.
I don't really have a boat. But I can tell you this: on our way up the river from Troutberg, we did run into some unsavory sorts that tried to relieve of our transportation as well as our belongings. We thwarted them, of course, but I'm wondering if maybe your shipment of cocoa might have met a worse fate.
Worse than a storm? Are you saying that pirates be about?
Well, there were some pirates on the river. They're not exactly in business anymore, if you catch my meaning.
They're in the river now instead of on the river. Is that what you're saying, young man?
That would be, well, they may not be in the river now, but when we left them, they were most certainly wet.
Aren't you full of spit and fire? And you'll make a fine businessman one day.
That's my hope, I say, kind of smirking.
So you think maybe these pirates have absconded with my cocoa shipment?
I'm saying it's a possibility. However, we didn't have... So one of my counterparts is a little rambunctious, may have gotten a little bit carried away with the fire spell, and the ship that they had, they no longer have. So if there was anything on that ship, it probably didn't survive. But if there is another way to get cocoa from someplace and get it to you, I might be able to figure out a way to do that.
Well, typically, he pays me a fair sum for my shipping services. But if I have to provide a boat, I might have to come off that payment just a little bit. I do have a spare vessel that is down at the docks. Do you have the types that know how to sail?
We are familiar with sailing. Yeah.
Well, wonderful. Then, in that case, I could, lend you my ship and give you the chart, and you could go and find the place. It's not far. It's only a couple of days away.
Is it
perhaps
on
you could
the river,
explain,
or is it out on the open water someplace?
Oh, it's out on the sea. Yes, so you have to go across the Sea of Mira. The cocoa only comes from one place on the continent, and it is one time of year. So you could go and perhaps explain to the folks what happened and bargain for perhaps a discounted price on a secondary shipment, because they would have to take it from someone else's. See, everyone's quota of cocoa a year.
I see.
And if you could bring us back an extra shipment, that might very well win you some favors in the city and earn you some coin.
I see. Okay. All right. Let me converse with my compatriots, and I should be able to let you know. End of the day.
That sounds wonderful. In the meantime, I have to go and speak with the innkeeper there. He's probably going to be quite mad with me, but as long as he doesn't go to Brigham.
Oh dear.
What a Chandra. Oh.
Okay. So I turn to Brada and I say, "Did you like your time on the water, Brada? Would you like some more time on the water?" Okay. Perfect.
All right. So, Clark and Furbolg, Mr. Fluffers, walking along. You see Serial coming back from the docks. Right about the time you get to a gate that leads, it is closed. And there is a guard at the gate. And you can kind of peer through the steel gate. It's a bars, you know, you can look through. And let me open up some of this map so you can kind of see what you see.
Good to know, Anvil. I'll take a look at that later and see if I can find it. If there is, I can re-render it so it's not there. Thanks for letting me know.
You can kind of see in and see that there is even another wall inside this wall. And above that wall, you can kind of make out what looks like the top of a tower. Looks like a wooden structure, maybe. Could be stone. It's kind of hard to tell from here. Guard looks at you and kind of grunts. He goes, "He's a big, burly bugbear." No, he says, "What business do you have here?"
We're merchants, and we were hoping to explore the city and see if there's anybody that we could do business with.
You have an invitation inside the walls.
Where would we get one of those?
You would only get an invitation from the house story. So if you do not have an invitation, could not let you in. He's a British bugbear.
British bugbears. My favorite kind.
Don't mind my asking, sir, what is so important in there that we must get such an official invitation?
That's above my pay grade. I'm just told not to let anyone in without an invitation from the house store.
Is it fair to say that that I might have caught up with the group by now?
In just a minute.
Okay.
Serial, you have caught up with the group. Brata and Vale, you can see the group, but you're not quite there yet. You see the group is engaged with a guard in conversation.
Okay.
So if you don't have an invitation, I'm going to have to ask you to move along.
Guys, maybe we should find out what's inside of this wall before we push too hard.
We could go back to the bar and see if anyone wants to tell us stuff.
Yeah, we should probably go talk to Oak Slum about it.
Has Vale told us about this opportunity of his?
Not yet.
He's getting there just now, and you see everybody's just kind of standing there talking to each other. Don't bug the bear. Yep. Kind of talking to each other, and they see you coming up, and they're all going to kind of just wait for you to show up, you and Brata. But this whole time you've gone along, there's been this 15-foot stone wall this whole way along. And it looks as if there's a small parapet around where perhaps a guard patrol walks the top of the wall as well.
Up here?
Up here, yeah. This is for everybody to know. And the stone is thick. You could tell at the opening of the gate, it's probably 12 inches thick on each side. And there seems to be a small void in the middle. So it's 2 walls with a stone floor on top of it. And it runs the whole length, which you can see, and turns and goes up each side.
Okay.
I use my stone cunning from last campaign.
I don't think that's going to work.
Oh
No, it's not. I just
look at those. It goes, man, those are good rocks.
So I'd like to go like over here on the other side of the Rusty Chalice, out of the view of the guard, and fly up to the roof and see if I can see over the wall.
Oh, okay. On the roof of the Rusty Chalice, or on this wall over here?
Nice point.
On the roof of the Rusty Chalice, since there's a guard on the wall, I don't want to bother him.
Okay. Yeah, you can see over the wall. Basically, you see very large houses. They have big fenced yards, and then inside the inner wall, you can't really make out much more than you could, but there's definitely a tower. It's inside. There are about, I'm counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're,
it's a gated
from
community.
what you can tell. Mm-hmm.
I'll bet they've got.
There are about
It was
7 or 8 very large houses inside this walled community, I guess.
Okay, so is everybody heading back to the tavern to meet up with Oakplum? That's where we're supposed to meet him, right?
Yeah.
Either that, or you guys can continue exploring the city. There's a whole lot more to, well, not a whole lot more, but there is more to see of this.
We haven't been.
Whatever.
Yeah, we haven't been up here yet. We also didn't go east. I guess it's east of the marketplace.
The market.
Yep. You haven't been either of those areas yet.
What time of day
Do
is
we
it?
want
And when are we supposed to
again
go?
and explore, or
Well, y'all talked over each other a little bit. Clark? Angela?
do we want to split up and explore like we were doing before, since there are a couple different places we can go, or do we want to stick together?
I don't see any reason why we can't split up. I don't think that's going to be a big deal. I mean, we're in the city. It's daylight. I don't think we're going to run into too many issues. I would imagine.
famous.
No, it's about midday, so
Okay, so it's been like 2 or 3 hours since we left from breakfast.
yeah, it's about midday.
Who wants to go where and who wants to go with who?
Oh, school. Let's split up.
Well, I'll go with the dog, and you probably don't want to go with the dog. So I suppose you and I can be the captains of the 2 groups.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Furball this time.
All right. Furball, which way do you want to go? Do you want to go up towards the top of the map for where all the slums and stuff are, or do you want to go down through the marketplace?
I can go to the north.
Okay. Who's with me?
I'm gonna go east of the marketplace, so I'll be with you.
Okay.
And Brata, who are you going with? Or
I'm
do
just
you
gonna
wanna
go
your own
follow. No. I'm gonna go with wherever Mr. Fluffers is going.
All right, so you're going to go with Herbolg and Fluffers and
All right.
Serial.
I guess that'll let them move stealthily if they need to.
Perhaps.
Which,
All right. Do you want to go with north people or east people first?
Yeah.
We'll start with the North people first.
Okay.
So, um,
Am I still running my detect magic? If not, I'll
that's expired a while back.
do it again.
Okay, as you're walking up towards this north area. All right.
Special delivery.
There was
Giants, we have
nothing
57.
other than the potions that she pointed out that you saw as magic in the market.
What's that?
So there was nothing in the marketplace that other than the potions that that you saw as magical, like the healing potions that she pointed out.
Okay.
All right. Into the slums. This area of the city is very dirty, grimy. Lots of mud tracked everywhere. The desperate and poor, basically, are just kind of living in the streets. Those also who came here hoping to find something more and got left or stranded or down on their luck, ran out of money. There are some people out here if you want to try to chat with anybody. There is one older lady in a dress, purple robes. Kind of weird looking.
Verbal.
Be right back.
Other than that, all right. Other than that, it's pretty typical slums. And the street continues east past what looks like another wall, but there's no gate.
I say let's keep moving and maybe we'll talk to people on the way back. So let's head towards that eastern bit. And we'll keep walking, I guess.
Yep, it looks like the long street here. There's a gate on the right, not far ahead, that would lead back into the walled city where you saw the tower. It looks like it might actually be right by here. You can kind of see more of the top of the tower, that is.
Okay. And moving along beyond that?
I'll go ahead and give me just a second. Let me reveal more of this tower because you can see pretty much all of it, the top of the tower now. There looks to be another gate on the left of the street up ahead.
I know I'm not with them, but is that gate to the tower also guarded and closed?
It's closed and locked, and there is a guard inside.
These are just like regular old iron bars. This isn't like some crazy, ridiculous locked door, right?
No, it's just like an iron gate. But this one has a fancy fancy stonework on it. These are unguarded iron gates, but they are closed and latched.
I'll like feel the latch. Does the latch just like move?
Oh yeah, it's just a simple thumb latch. You lift it, and there's a little bar, So you just lift the latch and push the gate open, and when you come to another gate, and it's the same way. So you can go walk right.
Go through it, I guess.
All right. Oops, sorry, I accidentally grabbed you trying to do a reveal. This opens up into a nice little forested area, grounds with a fountain, a large building on the right. There's a statue, and over to the far end, is that revealing for
Doesn't
you
appear
guys?
to be.
No, not yet.
20 strikes, because it didn't look like it was clearing on mine either. Here we go.
There we go.
Looks to be a simple area on the far left. Fountain, a statue in the center, some trees around the fountain, and a large building on the right. All surrounded by a wall. By the way, this void right here, at the end of the wall on the left, or on the right, I mean, isn't actually a void. The connection didn't catch, and I didn't see it in the shrunk down version when I saved it. And rather than having to go back, edit the map, and re-import it and all that, I just, yeah, that one.
I gotcha.
That'll happen.
So this looks to be a temple, actually.
Mm.
Well,
look at the. Go ahead.
I was going to say, can I tell what the temple is to?
You may be able to tell that. Looking at the statue, you see that it is a upright skeletal arm holding a set of balance scales. You have religion or knowledge. A knowledge check may give you, being that you studied dark information.
Got a 17 on an untrained religion check.
There you go. Hey, you do recognize this religious symbol. This is the religious symbol of the god Kelemvor, the god of the dead.
Mm-hmm.
I'll point that out to people.
Have I found any magic?
Other than the statue glowing a bit, no. Statue looks like it has some sort of magic presence on. How did I spell? Kelemvor. So, what do you want to know? With that 17, you know a little bit about the god. Fair yet cold.
His relation,
God of death. His relation to Quran.
if he has.
There isn't a direct relation. Was kind of in the same level of godhood, basically, Quran being a lesser god.
Okay, I just want to make sure we didn't have like a Crips and Blood situation going on here. Well, yes, whatever you feel like telling us about Kelemvor, feel free.
Trying to find the information that you would most relationships. He had a relationship with the goddess Midnight. He was likely, but it was maintained after Ascension to take after Mystra when Mystra fell. greatest enemy was Cyric, but he also fiercely opposed the machinations of Felesharoon, the necromancer who animated the dead and undead. That god stood against everything Kelmavor worked for in Talona, and for the unnatural deaths by her diseases. An interesting thing about Kelmavor was that he wondered how he could judge the world when he himself, his own personal. He gradually came to realize that there was nothing human in being a god. Changes were undergone in his realm as well. The city of the dead was changed to a gray world, not truly light and not totally dark, but just simply dull gray. Like the city you're in.
Mm-hmm.
Gone was good and evil in the city, only indifference and silence remain. Seems like this is kind of what that city's going for, the feel, but it's a little darker than taking here. This is neutral, but the city you're in feels a little neutral.
Okay, well, while we play around in the fountain and little park, why don't we switch to our other people?
We will go over to Clark and Vale.
All right.
Find them on the other side of the city, on the south side. On the south side.
South side, what up, yo?
And heading up. He owes me money. Again, the street goes up with that giant wall. You start seeing residents. Looks like a pretty normal resident town, average size. There's another gate on the right. I'm sorry, on the left, on your left. Not that you could see yet.
Okay.
I just got a
Go
ping.
down here a little bit and see if I can see what's down at the bottom down here.
Where are you at?
Just walking down towards the south a little bit.
Oh, yeah. It's pretty much all residential area here.
Okay.
Some houses bigger than others, but for the most part, they're modest and build. Wooden structures, protected by the outer walls, but excluded from the inner skull.
Okay. Continue eastward.
The great reveal. Come on, roll 20, quit freezing. Looks like everybody's having some internet issues. There we go. Oh, somebody just dropped out of chat.
They're back.
Yeah, sorry, we keep freezing a little bit over here.
Do we need to pause for a second and let you guys...
At least me and Mike do.
They do not sell sausages there, no.
So it's all just residential down here.
Yeah, from what you can tell, everything here is residential. When you go by, if you go by the gate, you'll see there is a guard to the city,
Okay.
the inner city, but you can see a little bit more.
Ah, there's a guard inside. Gotcha. Okay.
You can kind of see into the other side of that other wall there. Starting to get a lay of the land
But
inside.
again, not many people, yeah?
Yeah. It's a very. You see a couple of people out, but not a lot of folks for the number of houses that you. And for the size of the city, you do find it odd that no one is other than the guard.
Okay. Continuing eastward.
Yeah, that brings you up. There is actually an exit gate on this side of the city.
Okay. What do we see through the gate?
Out of the main wall. It just leads you out of the city and into the hills and the grassland outside the city. There's no goal here.
So is this like a thick wall here, or?
Yeah, this is the outer wall of the city.
Okay. Is there a
And you
walking
see-
parapet up here on top?
Yes, there is.
How tall is the wall?
In fact, it's 20 feet.
I climbed the wall.
All right, you climb up the wall pretty easily. I'm not going to do a check or anything.
I mean, I'm
Yeah, you can climb pretty easily.
feline
And
ability,
Clark
so-
can fly up there, and you guys see there is a guard a little bit further down the wall from you. So he's just kind of walking around, and you see that there is a big guard shack on top. So I think let's pause right here for a minute. Let the folks over at Herbal, Clark, and Serial House reboot their systems, relog in.
Okay.
Take a quick bio break, and then come right back, and we'll pick back up with this because they're having some pretty significant connection issues. It appears they keep dropping out of chat.
Okay, sounds good. We'll talk soon.
All right, just pause for a couple minutes, and we'll be right back. Hang tight with us, folks.
So how are we doing, chat? We're doing good? You guys hanging in there? Without getting too metagamey, I feel like maybe I wish I had a commercial for the t-shirts, but I can do this. But without getting too metagamey, now that I'm up here on top of this wall, I feel like maybe I should try to hide. For those of you just joining, this is the United Adventure Company. We're going through our 5th edition Welcome Home campaign. It's a homebrew campaign. We're using Roll20 for our maps and characters and character sheets and all that. We're on a brief intermission. couple of our players were having some internet issues at the house, so they're rebooting and stuff. Yeah, I mean, exactly. The guards are probably fine with us being up there. I mean, what possibly could go wrong? For those of you that caught the last stream, there was a portion of that stream where we were tethered to another ship, and I made a double dash to climb across the rope to get back to our ship. I didn't have to do that. I was reading my character sheet, or I was reading the abilities for tabaxis, and tabaxis have as a character trait, as a racial trait, they can, as long as they're engaged in combat, they can dash as a free action. So I would still have had a regular action to do in that combat. It didn't matter per se, because really all I was trying to do was get back to our boat. But you learn new things about your characters the more you get to research them. So now that our DM is back, do you remember in the last session when I did that dash to get across the rope back to our boat?
Oh yeah, the tightrope running.
The natural 20, yeah.
Yeah, the natural 20, yeah.
I didn't have to do that. But
it was fun.
As a racial trait, tabaxis, if they're engaged in combat, tabaxis have a free action where they can dash.
So you could have dashed
and still had an action, yeah.
And still had an action. Okay. Yeah, you still would have had to make the athletics roll.
I still would have had to make the check, but I would have had a free action.
But you would have had a free action to do it in instead of having use your... Okay. I'm not as familiar with tabaxis as...
I'm not either.
So we're all learning things here, and I really appreciate the audience's patience with us as we learn, and things change almost monthly with D&D, Wizards of the Coast. They put out new rule erratas and rule change, sometimes weekly. The newest one that's coming out, that just came out, actually, eliminates all racial penalty. So if you had a racial penalty, you no longer have that racial. It's part of Wizards of the Coast's change to be more... what did they say? I forget how they said, but you guys know in the world.
I think they need to be careful with that, though.
There was a reason that racial penalty existed to begin with. And it wasn't to penalize a race, it was because races are different.
I get why they feel like it's important, and I think our group has had this conversation. Just because of the way that you are born doesn't mean that you can't learn something new and specialize in something new. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that being born a certain way or to a certain racial classification doesn't necessarily, doesn't preclude you from being more proficient at things than others. So
right, like a halfling is naturally going to be more stealthy than a half-orc. It's just that doesn't mean a half-orc can't become stealthy.
Right, exactly.
But a halfling is half the size of a half-orc, so it's going to be easier for them to hide. Just naturally, and that's where the racial bonuses and penalties came from. And I think doing away with the penalties is in a way a good thing, that they're able to say, okay, you're not inherently at it than a normal being, but you don't get any bonus for or as a halfling would get a bonus.
Yeah,
well, just because you're not, you don't get a penalty. So right. I see where they're going with.
So what I think they need to do is I think that they need to advance the mechanic, the in-game mechanics, where someone who isn't necessarily predestined to have those racial benefits, they need to work the in-game mechanic a little bit so that there's a path to learn those characteristics. And be able
and I think that's part of the direction they're going, right? Because some of the errata even said that there are certain things that were restricted to certain races. those have been lifted. So, it's a change, and we'll see how it goes. I do think it opens the door for certain racial bonuses to classes or to characters to become a little OP.
Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid we're going to see the swing the other direction, right? We took away the penalty.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of penalizing certain races, we're just going to boost other races. I think that's what's going to end up happening. No, and I agree, Diamond. Yeah, the optic.
Right, exactly. That's exactly the point.
See, a couple of the folks are back in the Discord, but they don't have everything up and running yet.
Right.
So no, I'm glad that we have these things happening though, and we have these group, and like you said, we've been talking about this for a while, and our part of this campaign was part of the discussion before it was, are we going to allow any race, or are we restricting it to just whatever the basics? And I said no, I'm going to open the doors for everybody, and we even have put in a very open-minded culture here. I'm trying my best not to predetermine gender of NPCs and that sort of thing, which is really hard that they build. But like the captain of the boat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Will Whitesoul. Will could go either way. It was very as far as the name, it could be a male name, a female name, Wilma or William, or whatever. And they were very fluid in their gender presentation. So I tried to incorporate that, and there will probably be more of that as we go through. We meet more.
And to be so to be fair, let's
to be fair.
Yeah, to be fair. I like it when our worlds mirror the world around us. You can walk down the street, and you can walk past people who are very definitely male. You can walk past people who are very definitely female. You can walk past people who are very obvious in their presentation of how they want to be. You can walk past others who are not. And finding a way to balance that, finding a way to create a world where it would be very easy to immerse yourself in. I think that's a wonderful thing to try and be able to do from a creative standpoint. Maybe I'm wrong, but
well, that's what I try to do. Like you said, from a creative, I try to make it a world where the players can immerse themselves as their character and how they want to be viewed, seen, accepted in the world that they're in. There's also something to be said for not making your fantasy like your regular world, because a lot of us play the game to get the hell away from reality.
That's
right?
very true. That's very
so there are elements of the real world that we want to avoid.
Correct.
Duplicating.
Correct. That is absolutely correct. So what you're trying to say is that there's not going to be a presidential election in our D&D campaign? Is this what we're trying to say?
No, that's exactly what we're saying.
I hope not.
There's not going to be an election.
No.
I have to go let Mr. Fluffers out real quick. I'll be right back.
Mr. Fluffers, okay.
And then it looks like
I think everybody's back.
So
Yes.
I'll be right.
Okay. But yeah, you're right, Anvil. The optics of racial penalties in today's world is definitely not a good thing. Like, just because you are such and such, we're going to take away any and all opportunity that you may have to do a certain thing just because you are what you are. And that's it's very I don't know, I guess the best word I can think of right now is very oppressive. And, I mean, who wants that? Kind of like playing the role of another character. Back in the day, we called it role-playing. Yes, exactly. Exactly, we're role-playing. Something about OBS. I use Stream Elements OBS for broadcasting, and there's an integration for Twitch chat and YouTube chat. Twitch chat works fine. YouTube chat right now, I'm gonna take a video of it. I'm gonna try and put it in my Discord. You guys are gonna get a kick out of this, I think. Video.
All right, I'm back.
You're back? Cool.
Yep. So have you guys figured out how to beat the game yet?
Yep, we know exactly what we're doing. Not really.
All right.
It involves summoning tentacles, right?
At some point, I'm sure there will be tentacles summoned, yes. Now let's see if I can post this. I doubt it.
All right, so they hopped up on the wall, and they see the guards patrolling. What are you Are you posting something in the chat?
I'm gonna try and post it in my Discord first for my fans so they can get an idea of what I'm looking at on my side of the screen right here. It's if I had epilepsy, I'd be in a seizure right now. Where's my IRL? IRL? There it is. IRL. Should be that one. Nope.
All right, let's go back over here while you're doing that.
Yeah, you go
We're
ahead.
gonna
I'm
go back
here.
here to the temple. And
Oh, apparently I can't.
Volga
Apparently
in the game.
Bummer. Can't do it. Not from my phone.
So we've got Furbolg, Mr. Fluffers, Tot, and Serial over here on the temple is a pretty it's a nice structure, but it's not super duper fancy. It's wood and stone, some marble facade on it. It's nice, but it's not the grandest temple you could imagine. There is a little food cart over here. Guy selling some little snacks and stuff. Little flowers and the fountain, the garden of trees. Then on the far end, there's a cemetery. A couple of very large vaults, several mausoleums, and then standard like gravestones. One of the vaults is very large.
I know what to do.
Should we go look at the cemetery?
Sure, we could take a quick glance at the names on the tombs and such.
Cool. So you head over to the cemetery, and the largest of the mausoleum thing is of the city's founder. It's let's say his name, Vlad Von is his name. I think that's what I called him. Vlad Vane. And you notice the...
Go ahead.
You notice the date on this mausoleum says that he lived for 400 years. He just died 5 years ago.
Okay. I'm not there, but okay.
I believe the year that we're in here is like 12. I'm not looking at the calendar. I think it's like 12 something.
Um,
Go ahead, Serial. What you got?
did I freeze?
Did you freeze?
I
No.
want to share with my companions what the whale told me.
Oh, okay. You're going to share with them what the whale told you.
Yes.
That this was the founder of the city, and he founded it 400 years ago. And if you notice, all of the above ground tombs, the small ones, they all have the same last name. They're all from the family Story, Story, which you recognize as the guard told you that you couldn't get into the city without an invitation. House of Story. The vaults are, made of fine stone and steel craftsmanship. So this is not a super duper old cemetery, but some of these tombs go back. But you notice every date is a longer than normal, but yet just about everybody that you've seen out and about, few people you've met, have been human. This is a mostly human city.
Okay.
Anything else you want to do in the temple or graveyard area? You do see a patrol of guards that kind of stand in places on top of the wall. They walk back and forth, talk to each other. All the guardsmen here are on the corner of the walls are guard posts, and it looks like they have big giant ballistas inside.
Mm-hmm.
Should we try to go into the temple, or should we wander elsewhere?
I'm game for whatever.
Brata doesn't care.
To the temple.
All right, let's go in the temple. Sorry, still fighting connection problems.
That's okay. We're bearing
still-
with you.
We're still down here, right?
Yeah, Clark and Vale are still on top of the wall over here, staring at a guard who's got to them as he's walking towards the guard post.
Oh, his back.
So he doesn't see us, right?
Yeah, he doesn't see you all.
While they're walking into the temple, I'm guessing that we can look
The
north
temple?
along here. What do we see any other guards up here?
No, as far as you can see, it's wall. There seems to be a small guard shack about 2/3 of the way down, and then another large one at the end.
So, Clark, we have a choice. We can either get down and go back around the other way, because this is the end of the city over here. So we can either get down and go the other way, or we can book it and see if we can get over there to the other side. By the way, now that we're up on top, I'm guessing we can see this whole section in the center, yeah?
For the most part, yeah, you could see all of this area. You
Peel
can see the
back
very
that fog of
large.
war.
I say we go north away.
All right. Using my feline agility, I'm going to book it north.
You can see the very large houses and nice lawns, perfect wrought iron fences with their gates. No, the houses are actually very old. The fences are very old, rusted, but they are iron.
Mm-hmm.
And the yards are not well kept at all. They're patchy grass and stone.
Okay.
You are in a salty area, so a lot of sand
Hard to get
and
grass to grow
sand.
anyway.
Yeah, it is. That's what you see. You see nothing in the yards, no like toys for kids or anything like that. Just blank yards, houses.
How tall?
All the houses.
How tall are these inner walls right here?
They're about 4 foot.
So if I were to run as a cat, I could probably be low profile enough that I probably wouldn't be seen.
Yeah, if you were to run as a cat, you could run along there and not be seen by
enough.
if there was anybody inside here looking up at the wall.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to make my way this way.
All right, Clark, and you're going to move along.
I mean, Clark could probably fly and beat me on the other side, but
Oh, yeah, probably.
Yeah, sorry, where are you going? We're, like, disconnecting so bad over here. I don't know what's going on.
just going north to get to the other side of the.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Take a second and clean up some of this fog of war stuff so you guys can see everything around.
Okay.
There we go. All right, looks like Serial has gone into the temple.
So, can we tell what this little place is right here yet?
Yeah, it looks like a kind of like a gazebo for the hangout. There is a guy kicked back in a chair there. He's got a crossbow kind of laid across his lap. His legs are up on a railing. He's just looking out over the prairie there to the hills in the distance.
So as I get closer to this guy, I want to sneak past him and get down the wall on the other side of that center section.
Like right in
right in here.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You want to go like right in there?
Yeah. So am I close enough that I can see that there's a guard in that gazebo right now?
Yeah, you can see him.
Okay, so as I get closer, I want to get low and get quiet and sneak down into the road down below, or the path down below.
On this side of the wall.
Yeah, I don't want to sneak down inside here yet. I want to find out more about that before we go inside. I do plan on going inside. Just saying.
I kind of figured you.
Yeah, I want to
already planning this.
Everybody.
All right. Yeah, you're able to get up there and you see him. You get down low. And yeah, you can sneak by him. He's kind of half snoring, like nodding off asleep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that
so,
my passive stealth is higher than an 11.
Yeah, it is. So you kind of catch him nodding, and Clark, how are you? Are you going to fly over, or are you just gonna hop down?
I'm just gonna hop down. Yeah.
Okay.
Now this wall here, this wall is just as tall as this one over here.
Correct.
Okay, so this is all we see down here on the ground is this narrow pathway. But I'm guessing that up here on the other wall, we probably would have seen that temple area inside. Yeah.
Yeah, you could have seen it from there. Yeah, and the other difference between these two walls is this wall does not have a wall parapet on top.
Oh, okay.
See how this one has a parapet?
Okay.
This one is just a wall.
Okay. And you said
So is this here open, or is it also closed and guarded?
That gate, roll and investigate.
both of us or just Angela?
You could both roll it. You're both there.
13.
So it isn't guarded. You see that is not guarded. And it looks as though someone tried to lock this gate with a padlock, but it's, Vale, you notice the lock is not locked fully, kind of half locked. So
I would like to take the padlock.
You're going to take the padlock? Just take it off? And,
Yeah, I would like to take the padlock off the gate.
Okay, so you take the padlock off the gate. There is a gate on the inside that is closed, and you can't tell if it's locked or not. But there's no guard in there.
I'd like to check it out.
You notice that it doesn't have a locking mechanism. It's just a latch. It's like a hook latch.
Okay.
As you're inside there, you kind of see what looks like a patrol making their way around on the path in front of the houses.
All right, so we're going to back up. I'm going to back up and make sure that I'm in this pathway back here. Make sure that door is closed. Looks like it's closed.
Okay.
And then just kind of
cool.
Exactly what I was going to do. Yeah. So is this right here just an open pathway back to the temple?
No, he said that was closed.
No,
that
that
didn't render right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
it's
the
a
only
dungeon
way
master
is-
mistake.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I think we should head to the temple since we know that's probably right around where the rest of them headed.
I mean, that's the direction they were headed, so logically.
And you don't see them out here on the road anywhere, so you imagine they might be in there.
Okay.
We'll jump over to them while you guys get there. Sarah, you go into the temple. It's nice inside, but it is not fancy by any means. But it's nice, marble structures, raised columns. I haven't done a interior map yet for the temple. Part of my being lazy. There is an altar at the far end from where you are. So up here, there's an altar, pews, standard church layout, nothing fancy. The statues in here all represent things that you would associate with the judgment, death, dying, the dead.
Do I still have my magic on?
Yep. And you don't see anything magical in here. You walk around the whole place, and the only thing that you find that does glow is up at the altar. There's a large bowl full of water, and it glows a dark kind of... It's a different glow than you've seen before when you've seen magic glow.
I guess I'll walk back out and check on my people.
All right. You kind of think to yourself, odd that there wasn't a priest or anyone there. It was just a big empty building. You do find that to be a bit odd from what you know about religious structures. They should. Typically, there's a priest there. Excuse me.
I'm going to let everybody know about the magical water and the lack of people, and also add that it's just generally odd how empty the city is.
All right. Does anybody else find that odd?
I don't know, do I?
Let me roll an insight check on that.
Yeah, you can roll insight. You haven't been.
I got an 11 insight, and I'm not familiar with large cities.
Yeah, you guys don't really like. I don't know. It's
perfectly normal.
to you guys it looks normal.
Shrug my shoulders. I don't know.
You're like, never been to a big city this size. So
I mean, there were
It's
times when I
fitting,
went to the temple at the orphanage and there was nobody there. That seems normal.
they are first rate Diamond, sleeping on the job and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Only the best.
Only the finest for this town.
And by finest, we mean whoever we can get to volunteer.
It's probably the only living people that are there.
All right, so you guys are all together here on the temple grounds. You have had some different encounters, different information.
We should probably go back
You've
to the inn and see if Oakland's there. It's probably early afternoon now, right?
Yep, it's early to mid-afternoon. Did we lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Yep, we just lost Mike.
Yeah, we froze again. Mike's trying to disconnect and reconnect and see what we can do. So I'm assuming we regroup and they tell us what they found out and we tell them what we found out.
Yeah, I'm guessing we can have that conversation as we walk.
Yeah, you guys can have that conversation as you walk back to the Rusty Chalice. We can slide back, change maps back to there, and
So
with the issues that we're having connection.
check out what's up with first, because you said right.
Wait, what's that? You broke up there, Angela.
Yeah, sorry, I was gonna check out that food cart that was up there, but if we're back in the Rusty Chalice now, it's fine.
Oh. It was just like jerky and snack treats and typical stuff. You pretty much know them.
Okay, I just thought it was weird for a food cart to be there.
A little bit.
Astute observation. Nobody around it, just a food cart.
Nobody around, but the food was fresh.
Yeah. Like prepared in the last couple of days.
Was there someone manning the food cart?
No. There's nobody there. Just a cart of food, set out. It kind of looked like it was set out for visitors to the park. So there's a little box, an honor box, From what you've seen, the city's very long. Even though it's weird, like it's so different from Troutburg.
Yeah.
At Troutburg, everyone was out today, and here they're not. It's just a different vibe. Troutburg, of course, was a little fishing village, and this is a little bit bigger city. All right. So you head back in to the Rusty Chalice, and the afternoon crowd is there. That crowd, the regulars, Norm and the gang.
Norm.
And Marshall is not there. Oakflam's there. He's sitting there he sees you come in and he waves you over. Oh, my good friends. I hope that you are finding our city welcoming.
Deserted? Pretty much, yeah.
Deserted? No, the city has plenty of people.
Sure it does.
Where are they?
They're probably sleeping. Most business here is conducted. You did know you're coming to a city that practices mostly dark business, right?
No.
People in the shadows. They didn't tell you that this was a kind of a shady place? I mean...
They didn't tell us anything.
Well, that's a shame. I thought better, brother, Mother Sushin, but perhaps it was give you a free experience where you wouldn't be looking at perhaps expectations that you couldn't. Oh, we'll put it that.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, this is a great city. I love it here. I've been here, buddy. So, what do you think? You got to walk around, unimpeded, but there's nobody out on the streets, right?
What's the story?
Did you see crazy old Velma?
What's the story with all the stuff inside the wall in the center there?
Yeah, you said unimpeded, but there were a lot of guards around that area.
Ah, yes. That's the estate. The estate of the house story. They're the founders of the city, and they kind of keep to themselves there. They make sure the city has what it needs.
Okay.
The guild masters, they are kind of like a council, and they report back the happenings to the house story, that sort of thing. So the house story is kind of the political wing, and everybody else just kind of gets the work. So, they make the treaties with other cities and trade agreements and all of that. We just execute the work.
I see.
Maybe, Diamond. Maybe. Or maybe not.
I like how it's that they worship the dead. Not worship.
Yeah.
Worship.
Warship. That's right. You guys dead yet? You ordered?
Exactly. Okay. So what do you know, Oakland? What'd you find out today?
So I found out that yes, this you call them an order, I'd call them of the Sacred Grove. They are a group of not undead hunters, but lichen hunters.
Okay. This much
Been
we knew.
hired to. Yeah, they've apparently there's something behind the scenes that separates them from what I can understand about their operation. They are not in it for themselves. There's something greater going on here. This is not a quest of personal satisfaction. There's something driving. Don't know if they are driven by some god, or if they are driven by money, or perhaps some great force. If it were me, if it were me, and I wanted to eradicate a group of people, I would probably do crazy, like hostage, that sort of thing. They'd think it's crazy. I think it's perfectly normal. You just do what you got to do to get the shit done, So,
sure.
But these folks seem a little more leaning to the side of and order. Does that make sense?
I suppose.
So that's what I see of them. It's kind of hard to get a read on who's behind the scenes, who the leadership. I've got some more feelers out. This goes far. It actually goes. From what I understand, they came down this way, and their home base is to the north here, up the coast a ways.
Okay.
In the honorable city of Fruiton.
What is the honorable city of Fruiton known for? Like, what's their deal? What's their import? What's their export? What's their population? You know, what's the deets?
The honorable city of Fruiton lies on the northern shore of a small bay on the Sea of Mira. It's not far from the Garden City. The Sword River is not well. It kind of holds the gate to the north and the south. The Sword River is kind of the boundary, if you will, of folks like us, for instance. The more those who travel a darker path and those who travel the lighter path. That was a boundary that was a treaty of the Great War, and we have honored it mostly, and they have honored it mostly. Of course, there's, we go back and forth every now and then. Trading must be done, but it is also the key to the desert. So, they're good people, I guess. They're good for what they do, and we're good for that makes sense. Their city's a little bit larger than ours. Not by much, but a little bit larger. Holy cow, Doggo's going crazy. He must see another Doggo on the street. What else do you want to know about them? They're known for wood. They have an exotic wood there. They have a pretty defensible port because their port is on the backside of a jetty of land that comes out. They have a pretty strong navy.
Okay.
Right across the straits there from the honorable city of Fruiton is the Keep of Horror. You may have heard of that place.
Nope.
Once upon a time. It's an old rundown keep. An old necromancer lives out there.
Oh.
He's been fighting the city of Fruiton for a long time. They say he's got to leave. Follow the natural line of the river. The boundary goes just north of his keep. But seeing as how he's technically north of the city of Fruiton, they see it different. So there's been some disagreement there for,
I see.
It's politics. I try not to get involved in stuff myself. Just, man, drama. Gotta stay away from that stuff.
I see. So I had a conversation earlier today with Mr. Marshall.
Good.
And I was curious as to I'm looking for ways that we can covertly continue our mission under the guises of business. We've got this whole FedEx delivery thing, and I was curious. I asked him if there was a way that a enterprising entrepreneurial young person like myself could make 50 or 60 gold, and he said, sure, there's a way you could do that. I need some cocoa. Where would I get cocoa from?
Oh.
That's why I asked you what the imports and exports of Fruiton were.
Why is there a giant furbolg in the middle of the Sea of Mira?
I don't know. Why is there a giant furbolg in the middle of the Sea of Mira?
Because I'm not on the same map you guys are on. I'm scrolling through and I'm like, what is he doing there? Well, the coca comes from far north, in the cold lands in the rare forest. Rary Forest is on the north coast of the Sea of Mira, in the past the bastion of Gottmug and past the ruins of Baymore, up past the Straits of Lillandy. It's way far in the north, and it's this time of year. It gets a little dicey up there. You get some ice in the wall. You get turned around pretty quick. If you wait much longer, you're not going to have a chance to go. I'd say another 2 or 3 weeks, and it's going to be iced up, and cocoa trade's over. So there are other ways. There's a rumor that I heard.
That rumor would be?
There's a rumor that there's a high-ranking member of the House of Story that has gone missing. I bet if you were to bring back information about that high-ranking individual, the House of Story would good money to find out what happened to their high-ranking official.
Do we know where the last place that they were seen was?
I could probably get that information for you. Might take me a day or two. But I'd have to go against my better judgment and maybe dip my toe into the political a little bit. But I could probably pull the right strings and get you that information.
Okay.
But of course, if you didn't want to get involved, because it is political.
I mean...
If you're looking for a way to upstart your new business now, here's an interesting prospect.
Okay.
I happen to have, I don't want to say it's too loud, I happen to have come across 5 individuals who are looking for the next big idea. They're going to be here in a few weeks. In this big party, I can get you an invitation to where you can pitch your idea. They'll give you startup capital and only ask for a modest stake in the business venture. Think Shark Tank.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was going.
If that interests you, now that could give you the real capital to start your own shipping. But don't let me pressure you. There's several ways to do it.
Perhaps, but I think right now our main objective is to get as much information on this sacred grove as we can. That's why we're here. And you say they come from that area up there around Fruiton, or just north of Fruiton?
Yes, they're actually, from what I understand, based in the city of Fruiton, which
I see.
Really strong city. Some have even said that they have ventured up to Staywick Castle, which is even farther into.
Well, I think it's time for my counterparts and I to have a conversation, trying to figure out what we want to do, what we need to do next, because there's a lot of possibilities here, and I'm not sure which one the best one is.
Yeah. Well, if you need anything, you know where to find me, and you and your friends, have a bright future for you here, Carangal. And the information you need to send back. If you need, I can go ahead and message to Mother Sushin and let them know what we have all covered, and take it from there. What do you think of that?
Sounds like a great idea. Chocolate comes from the House of Wind.
Yep.
So, y'all, you probably heard me mention that there was a business opportunity for us. I'm not sure if that's the right opportunity for us, though, because that requires us sailing a lot, and like Oakland just said, we're getting late in the year, and that journey could get a little bit dicey. I'm game to try it if you guys are. But is that the right direction that we want to go? Just to try and earn some more, money and possibly get, our feet wet in a business opportunity. Yes, it would give us good cover, but I don't know that would take us anywhere that we could find out more about Sacred Grove. But I also don't know of a good reason for us to go to that other city here. We don't really have a reason to go there. What do you guys think?
I don't care about the business opportunity. I think the best bet is to push further into whatever nonsense is going on in this city. So looking for the missing heir or whatever. That's probably the best thing. I could be wrong.
Okay.
That note, I think meeting with the investors and getting them in on our business would potentially get us a ship and help us travel faster.
True. Very true. But that's a couple of weeks down the road. So if we do this investigation for the missing member of the House of Story, that could help us out a lot too. Somehow I have a feeling that the Sacred Grove and this missing family member are probably connected.
All I know is that we need to work on figuring out our enemies and destroying them. That is what Karan would have wanted.
I can see the benefit of that, sure. Furbolg, what do you think?
Like everything from the last 30 seconds or so.
Finding the member of the House of Story is probably our best bet. Brada said something.
Honest, my connections.
Excuse me.
Bad for the last. I'll just catch up later. So.
Yeah, understood. Brada said figuring out who our enemies are and destroying them is probably most important. As Brada does.
What if we go back to that vault?
Does that get us any closer to any information about Sacred Grove?
I don't know that anything immediately screams that we're getting information about Sacred Grove.
I think the only the only opportunity that we have that would get us closer to information about the house or about Sacred Grove is the missing family member from the House of Story. And that's a loose connection at best.
I'm okay with that plan.
Well,
Do you guys think going that route is what you want to do first?
I think that's what makes the most sense.
So you're seeing it's possibly a connection between this missing House of Story person and the
Sacred Grove.
Sacred Grove. Okay.
I'm probably completely wrong.
Even if it isn't, perhaps garnering favor with the people who run the city will get us through some doors.
It can't hurt. Okay, if you guys are supportive of that, let's do that.
I think it sounds like a good idea.
Okay.
I don't know what the plan is, but I'm on board.
Well, I don't know that we actually have a plan yet. We have an idea. But
We have an idea.
No plan.
Works for me. I just didn't hear any of it, so I will go along with what the majority wants.
Yeah, no, I have no idea what the plan is either. I'm going to need a recap after this.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking this is probably a good place to stop anyway. One, because y'all are having issues on your end, and two, it gives us a chance to pause here, regroup and recap maybe through the Discord. We'll get a recap going, and we'll go back from there. And if we need to jump on together in a chat session, we can do that. Kind of bring everybody up to speed and do a little background planning chat. Crushed, killed.
Sounds good to me. Sorry about all the connection issues.
Oh, it's not y'all's fault. It's not like you're sitting there unplugging your router or anything.
Or are they?
Or are they?
We're going through a massive device purge on our router, so...
Oh, is somebody like stealing your internet?
I have no idea, but I'm going to go through and rename every single device in the house so they have a real name and not the default names. And then anything I don't know is getting blocked from our network forever.
That's probably a good idea.
Probably a good idea. Yeah. Well, hey, gang, thanks so much. I had a good time. I know we had some technical issues, but played out really well. I hope you like the hooks that I put in there, and everybody go buy. And maybe one session we all get a T-shirt. We can all wear them together.
Yeah. Don't forget that there's the merch store information that just popped up in the chat. So go get yourself a
T-shirt. And you can buy a gift, and you could buy a T-shirt for other people too. It doesn't have to be for you. Send them as gifts. Holiday season's right around the.
That's right.
All right.
I'm gonna need you to roll a persuasion check.
Hold on, I can do this. I got this. I gotta find my character sheet. There it is. Persuasion. Okay. Yeah, natural 20.
Natural 20.
Everybody buys all of the
Everyone has
shirts.
to go buy a T-shirt
That
now.
was perfect.
It's not gonna happen. They're not gonna do it. It's okay though.
Yeah.
But anyway,
All
thanks
right.
so much, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us today, and we do apologize once again for the connection issues, but it happens. I mean, I've been having trouble with my network this week as well. I've got 3 Wi-Fi connections that are part of my router. The second 5G connection that's on my router, it doesn't work. It disappeared. I don't know where it went. I don't know. But,
I haven't been able to connect to either of our 5G bands today at all, which is normally my solution for Discord connection problems.
Yeah, but I don't know where it went. Anyway.
You know, that just proves that it's all the 5G's fault.
It is. It's 5G's fault. But yeah, thanks everybody for hanging out with us today. Much appreciated. If you know anybody else that might be interested in watching us derp around and play D&D, invite them to the stream. We'll have another one here in probably a couple weeks. We'll keep you apprised on the socials and on the channel page as to when the next one is. And until then, keep on adventuring, I suppose. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.